I think just our efforts. We kept hanging tough there. A little bit clunky at times in attack, but I just thought again probably similar to last week. There was plenty of effort about our game. And, I was pleased that we hung on. We always knew that they're going to come back with Cronk and Tedesco and those sort of blokes in the second half. But proud of the guys.
Always a bit sweet to get one over your neighbours.
Yeah, well, obviously the build-up's been a pretty big build-up. I know what both sets of supporters are like and members are like. So it's always, I suppose, with that rivalry, good to get a result, particularly away from home as well. It's the first time we've won an away game this year. We got done by 4 points out at Penrith and at the Dragons. So. It was a good little milestone for us.
Anthony, your forward pack, especially considering without old Semi and Cam Murray, and what you did for the middle night was pretty impressive.
Yeah, I thought they stood tall for each other. Clarkie's 150th game. Everyone in the group, throughout the whole club has got a lot of respect for Clarkie. And, it was an important milestone for Clarkie, obviously. And, I've said it a couple of times, if it's important to Clarkie, it's important to me and it's important to the group. So I thought we stood pretty tall there. Yeah, Cookie was great. I thought he was pretty good last week as well. He started the season really well. Sort of just had a feeling that he's ready to be an 80-minute player, and he's progressing really well, and he's working really hard at his game. Sort of not getting too carried away. Cookie, he's pretty level-headed young bloke, but he's been a bit par player probably for his first 40-odd games of his career. So it's good. It's pleasing that he's been persistent and showed a bit of resilience, and he's getting some joy now, but he knows he's got to continue to work hard. We've got Robbie Farah sitting there as well, so but he was good tonight for sure.
It was a nice try. You scored, Greg.
Thanks.
Right, sure.
It's always good to cross the line, obviously, but it's not about me. It's about a team effort. We've been building over the last few weeks, and it'll be no different next week.
Greg, we know you've done it tough the last 12 months, but even last week, I think you said you were embarrassed about being stood up by you and Nathan, but that smile that came over your face after that try, it's a smile I haven't seen in a long time.
Yeah, look, it's been a long road back, but in saying that, I've got a bunch of, great bunch of guys at the club, around me, Seeds, from the admin staff, or from the CEO, from the board all the way down. So, it's a great club to be involved in, and it makes weekends a lot easier when Seeds and that gives our simplifies our job.
What about the view from the coach's box seat? Seeing the big.
Oh yeah, I loved it. I'm really proud of the way Greg's start of the year. It's been challenging at times for him, and we had some really tough conversations at different times over the pre-season, and it's a long slog when you're coming back from an ACL. So I'm really proud of where he's got himself to, and it's great to see him score that try and have a big smile on his face. But as he said, he's a team person first, so I know that he was happy with the win. But like we were just talking about on the way over here, we're not getting too carried away. We've got 9 days and we bounce into the Raiders next week. But I'm really proud of his effort tonight.
What about, I thought you had the second try. Have you been taking acting lessons from Russell Crowe? Because I was convinced you scored that second one. You held up.
Well, that's what it looked like. I knew I got it down. But again, on-field decision was no try, so can't argue with that. There was no insufficient evidence about overturning it, so that's just the way it was.
Anthony, could you elaborate when you said you had some tough talks with Greg? What do you think?
I just at times, sometimes when you come back from an ACL or any long-term injury, you have some good days where you're sort of going in that direction, and then, different times, physically challenges you, in and around your progression. So, at times it was tough, wasn't it, mate? Just to continue to keep progressing physically, and, every now and then you'd hit a couple of hurdles and then maybe back up again. So, it's always the case, regardless whether it's Greg or anyone else. It's a bit of a roller coaster coming back from an ACL, and as I said, we saw fairly quick, I suppose, progression from probably mid-January, I think it was. We saw a lot of improvement in his knee and from a physical point of view. But as I said, I'm really proud of him, getting back to where he is, and it's great to have him as our leader and our captain. So it was nice to see him score that try, as you said.
Tom and George had some good moments for you.
Yeah, physically they really aimed up for us. It was going to be a challenge. We spoke during the week about Napa and Hargraves and, you know, what they bring to the Roosters middle. So, you know, I think George and Tom have been, you know, pretty consistent so far this year. Like I challenge them with every week, you know. We don't want to see them being a 7 or 8 out of 10 one week and a 2 or 3 out of 10 the next week. But they've started, you know, pretty consistent, and I thought they did a really good job tonight. Physically, they sort of took it to the pack there, so it was pleasant.
Anthony, you touched on it before, Damien Cook. Obviously, he's playing 80 minutes this year and hasn't in the past, like I said, been a bit of a fit player. Were there things you saw during the pre-season, or I guess when he first arrived at the club, that made you confident straight away he could be that 80-minute player?
Well, he did a lot of work before he even come back to pre-season training. Cookie, like I was really sort of direct with some feedback in and around what he had to improve in his game, and I won't go into detail there, but he knew what he needed to improve. I gave him that feedback when I took over the role. So the thing I liked about it, he went away and he worked really hard on those things. And then when he came back to training, I saw him, you know, find some improvement there. Physically, he's a very fit guy, as you can, you know, you probably just see there, and everyone sees his weapon, which is his speed. But he's a very fit guy, so yeah, he just progressed pretty well during the pre-season, and you know, I gave him an opportunity against Wigan, and he played pretty good. And he's I suppose just, you know, he's kept the spot. He's, you know, because Robbie Farah's been you know, outstanding in the 2 reserve grade games he's played. So it's not as if Faz isn't training good or not playing well, but I just thought that Cookie probably deserves an opportunity to see if he is an 80-minute player. And, you know, he's getting better, but again, it's like the boys there before. I'll challenge Cookie to repeat it next week now. You know, it's no good being a, you know, 8 out of 10 tonight. We've got to, you know, turn up next week and do the same job.